Handcuffed, going into a short cycle here in November, getting a little bit of a late start, so we've had to shortcut the process. The idea is to really make it a really strong and deep process as we're able to implement it and get it in place. And we'll talk more about elections here because I really jumped this thing. I have not even got the number one yet. Becoming an activist and helping others become active. Jim, he's probably got one of the best stories on this with his mom. Jim had made a list for his mom who was not an activist. 72, Jim? 86, and not having been politically active in her life and etc. And so Jim's putting a list to her, I think, and saying, well, Mom, I'll make a list. I'll give you some things, some action items that you can actually begin to put in place and do. And so he makes this list for her, and to Jim's surprise, in a week, she calls him back and she says, I'm done with my list. Well, Jim thought, man, there's no way. I put together a pretty good list that should have kept her busy for a while. But no, within a week, she's finished with her list. And so, he begins to say, well, Mom, you've done this, you did that, you did this, you did that. You called the Blue Dog Democrats. And then she went beyond. Did she go beyond the list? I know at church she got active at church by having gone beyond the list and actually started talking in her Sunday school class about it, etc. And then I think in one of her social clubs. Yoga? Yoga. Man, I think when I tell that story around the low country, I think I said it's a bingo class. I think I'll stay with bingo. No. So yoga and bridge or whatever. So, here's a lady that actually, and that's what we all got to do, guys. If we're not going to become active at that level, at our sphere of influence, actually trying to just plant seeds, and that's all I look at is you're just planting a seed. It may not look like much when you cast it out there. It may not be evident that it's going to spring into anything. But man, if we don't just start casting those seeds out there, then we can't actually begin getting that message out and waking the people up and just making them aware. These little buttons like I'm wearing here, whatever that says, we the people, and whatever it says. But these little buttons here, some people wear those T-shirts like right here, the blues that went to D.C. and on the back, and the white. What does that one say? Oh, that's our pay. That's the Independence Day Tea Party, and there's the fair tax. So Oh.
What does the Tea Party, are they for illegal immigration or are they not for illegal immigration? Are they for corporations paying taxes, higher taxes for infrastructure? What do you stand for? So I know the Constitution, but we all don't see the Constitution staying honest. So that's why I'm asking. I'm not for personally illegal aliens who piled off a $300,000 house in Park West. Not because I'm financially irresponsible, because my neighbors that sit in my church room and the Chamber of Commerce, if the high places elected officials are making a profit, as I lose my home. So not only did I lose my home, my job is gone, my Bill of Rights, because we don't enforce the laws of immigration, by giving amnesty is nothing different than Obama as a black man saying, I condone slave labor, because that's what they're being used as.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I tell you what.
What do you stand for?
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, you're going to hear some of that tonight. If you bear with us tonight, you're going to hear some of that tonight. At the same time, if you go on the website, charlestonteaparty.org, if you'll go there, it actually talks about us. I think is one of the pages. The other one says mission, and on those it'll tell you basically that we're standing for limited government, that we stand for a representation for the people. We stand for fiscal responsibility within all the way from the top to the bottom, physical responsibility in those of our elected officials. Again, like I mentioned earlier, national sovereignty, and that would be an answer to your question. That you're going to find that fall in there, and that includes strengthening the borders and etc. And state sovereignty and etc. So. If you don't mind taking a look on that website, it's going to go into more definition on some of those things, but I think you'll find that you probably belong in this tent, it sounds like to me. In that becoming an activist, church, social clubs, and family, etc., And I'm Ron Parks. I'm sorry if you said you didn't know who I was. I guess I didn't introduce myself. Forgive me. I'm Ron Parks. Becoming an activist, helping others become activists. So it's not only us becoming an activist, but it's also encouraging and helping others to become activists also. And I just think it's something that if we begin to take upon ourselves, wearing little buttons, little things like that, to where we can actually begin passing the word as much as you possibly can. And if you get someone to look at your button, bam, you got an audience. You got someone who you can then say, you know, whatever your response may be back for that button, and etc. So that becomes the first thing I think that all of us have to do. Now, I've left little blanks out here, and what I'd like you to do is, of course, fill that sheet in, check these blanks off as we